Hey guys, Mark Daly with today's devotional. We're going to talk a little bit about true manhood. And what if we actually have this whole manhood concept wrong from our very youth? I'm not sure how you were raised, but I think generally men see themselves as warriors, and we tend to be threatened by other strong men and potentially want to dominate weak men. So what happens in between is this push for dominance. So in the schoolyard, it might take the form of words to belittle others, trying to make yourself look better. Words might lead to schoolyard fights. And then as we get older, hopefully these things do change. Now, often they change in form and format, but it still seems to be a competition for dominance. Sometimes we see this in the form of physical and financial achievements. Well, maybe so if I can lift weights and I'm big and strong, I can compensate for um, my own insecurities. Sometimes it might take the form of financial achievements. So now, instead of schoolyard words and fights, we try to outperform each other with our achievements, our homes, our cars, our toys. And now they've become part of the competition. So you've heard it said, I don't think I'm going to quote this right, but the one that dies with the most toys wins. And of course, you could die with a ton of toys, but you can also be in debt to your eyeballs. So that's something to consider. Now, I remember as a kid watching John Wayne movies or Clint Eastwood as a cowboy or as a police officer chasing after bad guys. And we wanted to emulate them as kids, right? We wanted to be them. We felt good about watching them because they were supposedly the good guys and they were bringing justice to the bad guys. So the fact that they always got the girl in the end was an added bonus for us fellas, right? When you look at Jesus and how he modeled manhood, it really is completely different. And I'm guessing it's only after you mature as a Christ follower that you can see how wrong our concept of manhood actually is. So when you see Jesus, the Son of God, actually laying down his life when he had the power to resist, at first glance, it seems like he died in weakness. But what strength it required to lay down your life when all along he could have devastated those that were killing him. All he had to do was ask the Father, but he didn't. The interesting thing is that Jesus was actually fighting a battle during his earthly ministry, but he did it in a different way than you or I would be used to. And I guess a beautiful model of what Christ did in showing what real men would be like can be found in John 13, verse 1 through 17. It's where Jesus washes the feet of the disciples. It says it was just before the Passover festival. Jesus knew that the hour had come for him to leave this world and go to the Father. Having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end. The evening meal was in progress, and the devil had already prompted Judas, the son of Simon Iscariot, to betray Jesus. Jesus knew that the Father had put all things under his power, and that he had come from God and was returning to God. So he got up from the meal, took off his outer clothing, and wrapped a towel around his waist. After that, he poured water into a basin and began to wash his disciples' feet, drying them with the towel that was wrapped around him. He came to Simon Peter, who said to him, "Lord, are you going to wash my feet?" Jesus replied, "You don't realize now what I'm going to do or what I'm doing, but later you'll understand." "No," said Peter, "you shall never wash my feet." Jesus answered, "Unless I wash you, you have no part with me." Then Simon Peter replied, "Not just my feet, but my hands and head as well." Jesus answered, "Those who have had a bath need only to wash their feet. Their whole body is clean. And you are clean, though not every one of you. For he knew who was going to betray him, and that was why he said not everyone was clean. When he had finished washing their feet, he put on his clothes and returned to his place. Do you understand what I have done for you? He asked them. You call me teacher and Lord, and rightly so, for that is what I am. Now that I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you should wash one another's feet. I have set you an example that you should do as I have done for you. For truly, I tell you, no servant is greater than his master, nor is a messenger greater than the one who sent him. Now that you know these things, you will be blessed if you do them. So guys, this is an example of what men do. Men serve their families, each other, and their community. So I want you to think about that. There are some other things I'd like to touch on along this line, so we'll pick up where we left off. Thanks, guys. Love you.